Hello, welcome to Human Anatomy and Physiology 1. Today's lecture summary is covering 7.4 Bone Function, describing the major functions of bones. My name is Ms. Medrano. Let's get this lecture started. Bones serve for many things in our bodies. These functions include shape, support, and protect, aiding in body movements, housing tissue that produce blood cells, and storing various inorganic salts. Our bones are able to provide a framework to our body that gives shape to certain structures that include the head, our face, the thorax, and our limbs. Bones that serve to support our body weight include the lower limbs, the pelvis, and the vertical column. Bones that serve for protection include the skull bones, which protect our brain, ears, and eyes, the bones of rib cage and shoulder girdle, which protect the heart and lungs, and the bones of the pelvic girdle, which protect our internal reproductive organs and our lower abdominal organs. Another major function of bones is movement. When our bones and muscles interact, this is what causes our limbs to move. This is what gives us the ability, for example, to lift weights. Blood cell formation is another major function of bones. This formation is called hematopoiesis. It first forms in the yolk sac and later in development moves to the liver and spleen and in the bone marrow. There are two types of bone marrows. The first is the red bone marrow. This is where red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets get produced. The second is the yellow bone marrow. This bone marrow replaces some of the red bone marrow when there are changes to age, it stores fat, and there are no blood cells being produced. The last major function of bones is inorganic salt storage. Salts account for 70% of the bone matrix. Most of these are salt crystals of calcium phosphate called hydroxyapatite. An important word to know is osteoporosis. This is a condition that results from loss of bone mineralization. Calcium is required for important metabolic processes such as muscle cell construction, nerve cell conduction, and blood clot formation. It is also regulated by the parathyroid hormone and calcitonin. When calcium levels are low in the blood, parathyroid hormones stimulate osteoclasts to break down bone tissue to release calcium in the blood. When calcium levels are high in the blood, calcitonin stimulate osteoblasts to form bone tissue to store excess calcium. I hope you have enjoyed today's summary on bone formation, the major functions of bones. Please make sure you are staying